Yo, what's up, folks? It's Impact, and I want to take this time to welcome you all back to the Hurt Business 101. Let's get right into this video, man. Today's video, I'm going to discuss Riyadh season, Turkey Sheik, and what it has meant for boxing, what it is exposing in the sport of boxing today, and why some people love it and some people don't like it at all. Let's go. Listen up before I start dropping this content, man. I just want you to take this time. If you're watching this video, you've seen any of my videos, and you like how I drop the content, go ahead down there and hit that subscribe button. Also, do yourself a favor, hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. Let's go. Listen up, y'all. Riyadh season in Turkey Sheik for a guy like me that wants to just see the best fight the best, wants to see these guys get in there with each other, don't care if they win or lose, not going to shit on them when they take a loss. I'm still going to support the guys. I love what Riyadh season and the Saudis have brought to the sport of boxing. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it being an entity outside of the U.S. that is putting on the best fights from right now in the sport of boxing. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And some people do. I would ask them why. And I kind of know why. There's several reasons why. We're going to get into some of that right now. Listen, have you guys noticed and really think about this? Since Riyadh season and Turkey Sheik has started putting on fights, you notice how many upsets we had. We had more upsets with Riyadh seasons, and since Saudi and Turkey Sheik got into putting on these big fights, true 50-50 fights, we had more upsets in that time than we had in like the last 6-7 years in boxing. And the reason for that is a lot, and I mean no disrespect to none of the fighters, because I'm not a wins and loss guy. I just want these guys to get in there. Shit, some of the journeymen are some of my favorite fighters to watch outside of some of the stars in boxing, because I truly understand that every level of boxing is important for the sport, not just the A-level guys. There is a place in boxing for everybody, and some of that stuff, boxing can't be where it is without the journeymen. They are most important. And with that being said, I love seeing these guys fight. Win, lose, or draw. I just want them to be able to get in there and get they wins, get their losses, and let's move on as fans. Not let's harp on it, tear the guy down when he loses, call him a bum, say he's done, and all of this stuff, because we need these guys to go ahead and stick around, because tomorrow we can see the same guy that took a devastating loss rise from the ashes and be on the mountaintop. Even if he only on that mountaintop for that one day, and then the very next fight he gets knocked down off it, forever he will be called champ. No matter where you go, people will call you champ. Once they get the belt, it don't matter if they retire and they 70 years old. They call him champ for the rest of his life. So I love seeing it. We got some people, like some promoters don't like it, because they feel like I could tell right now, Eddie Hearn, it makes Eddie Hearn sick. The money and the opportunity is so plentiful that he has to do it, because his fighters are going to push him like, Eddie, make the fights, make this fight. Look how much money is on the table. Because what's happening is Turkey is contacting fighters, telling them, I mean, he's not a promoter, so he's not breaking any laws by talking to a fighter. It's not like an interest where he's basically like almost like like approaching another promoter's fighter, like trying to steal him away. No, he's letting them know how much money is at stake, and them guys like, listen, make that fight. It ain't like he just going straight to the managers and to the promoters, talking to them, and then the fighters are getting secondhand information and they don't know the money that's at stake. This is showing you that the fighters, if they really want it, they the boss. They telling them, listen, make that happen. It's a little tougher when guys have a network deal, because it gets tricky. They got to try to work out a way to make a deal with the network so everybody is involved and everybody's happy with the terms. But some of these guys, they see those dollar signs and they jumping on it. Some of the promoters don't like it because, like in Eddie Hearn's case, he's losing like a motherfucker with this Riyadh season. He lost the 5v5. AJ got knocked out. He just lost the Bivol better BF fight. Like he's been on a tremendous losing streak. It's rumored that him and Turkey having a little friction right now. I don't know if it's true or not. I got nowhere. I don't have no inside track. I just hear what's going on out there. And if he is, it could be because Turkey is pushing him to make fights that he may not want to make at the time because he don't want to put some of his fighters in this situation because it's lowering his stock. You know what I'm saying? And he might not like the trend of losing, and then other fighters when he trying to sign them, they looking at it like, damn, your stable ain't even the lit stable no more. They losing. So some guys don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like what's happening is they showing us that some of these guys ain't cut like we thought they was cut. And it's not the fighters that's not good. It's the way people are pushed a lot of times. Like we all knew, everybody who really, really didn't pay attention to no politics and really knew who Bacoli was, who Jared Anderson was. I knew Jared Anderson was going to get his head knocked off from the time I heard he was fighting Bacoli. People thought Anderson was the A side because all they see is Anderson highlights, and they don't know Bacoli at all. So they just see Bacoli, they just see this big oak, and they don't know who the hell he is. So they just like, oh, Jared Anderson, yeah, he gonna win. He the A side. They never even study and watch Bacoli fight. They don't know how many people avoid Bacoli. That's why you don't know Bacoli, because dudes don't want to step in the ring with him like that. They don't know that. So now what's happening is even Turki Al-Sheikh is getting upset because he has plans beyond. I know his eyes, it's like when you go to the Thanksgiving table and you go in there and say, I'm going to get some of this, I'm going to get some of this, I'm going to get some of this. And you pile a plate up this high, and then you get it in front of it and you realize, oh, my stomach could never hold that much food. Yeah, his eyes get a little bigger than his stomach in that way, where he's looking and like, oh, after this fight, because I believe this person going to win after this fight, I want to match him because I know he going to win, and then he going to win. I want to match them together. It's going to be this big fight, and he's getting upset. Time and time again, that's been happening to him. That happened to him with Fury, and with Fury versus Usyk, and when AJ had his fight, he was looking forward to Fury winning against Usyk, AJ winning against Dubois, matching those guys together, and both of those guys lost, and he stuck like, damn, Usyk, Dubois, we already saw that. That's not going to make a big splash. Even though they're the two winners, they rightfully need to be fighting, but he's upset because he had his mind on, we're going to pack this stadium, we're going to pack Wembley. So even with him being upset, because like these fights are really, one guy is being pushed more. These other guys are really good fighters. They're just not being pushed. Some fighters don't have the resources or have the backing like other fighters have. Therefore, they stay under the radar. Fighters avoid them because they're a little tricky or they're dangerous and they don't bring a lot of money. The public doesn't get to see these guys fight. The public don't know them. All they know is the guys are being pushed more. So in the public's eye, this guy is the clear A side. He's going to destroy this guy. Then they get in the ring, and then you see things like you saw with Tim Tszyu versus Bakram. Well, we'll talk about that fight at a later day. But then when you see that, it's like, well, damn. But I didn't do it, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I didn't do a breakdown and prediction for that fight because I didn't know enough about Bakram, and I'm not like some of these other guys that pretend to know shit they don't. I could have watched some highlights of Bakram and went on here and watched a bunch of highlights and compiled a bunch of data. I'm smart enough. I've been around boxing. I boxed. I spent time training in gyms. I trained, help work with people. I can articulate myself well enough to mix a bunch of shit together and come on here like I really know the guy and give you a bullshit breakdown, and you won't know any better. But I'm not going to do that because I have integrity and I don't want to lie to the people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. I'm willing to accept the fact that I don't know a guy. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to make a prediction or a breakdown. But a lot of people just go on a limb and start acting like they can come to a conclusion when they don't have enough data on this guy yet. And then you get a fight like that, and it's this big upset of the year. You got one guy that's a 7-1, and he gets destroyed and dropped a bunch of times, and his team throwing the towel within 3 rounds. This is how this stuff happens. When you start matching these guys up against the best, you are going to get upset. And guess what? I can look at so many instances where guys come back from these losses. As fans and as people that cover the sports, we gotta just let the losses go, like the UFC. Them guys lose, they talk about the fight, talk about the loss, then they move on. Them guys be able to get back in the ring. People still support them. People still watch him. Nobody casts him to the side and say, "Oh, he a bum, he a mop, he this, he that." Like, listen, he lost a fight. He can come back. It's funny how when fighters we love lose fights, we have a tendency to be able to brush it to the side and be like, "Oh, he'll come back." And when he come back, you still support him. But when fighters that is on the list of the guy who your favorite fighter has beef with, so now you don't like him. It's funny how they take a loss and just throw him away. I mean, Canelo take a loss and get embarrassed by Floyd Mayweather. He was too young. He was too young, and then he loses to Bivol. And but what you expect? He went up to 175. Which guess what? I'm happy that you don't cast Canelo aside because he take losses. But when you're getting in there with great fighters, you're going to lose some. I watch. Listen, this is my guy. Everybody knows it. I watched my man Julian Williams have to fight, and he wasn't being pushed like to the point where he had a silver spoon coming up. Yeah, he was signed to PBC, but he had to fight undefeated guy after stiff challenge to get in contention. He gets in the ring with Jamal Charlo. He's winning that fight. He gets caught. He loses that fight by knockout. Boxing tries to throw him and cast him off to the side like he's done. In order for him to try to get back in contention, what did they do? They tried to send him through the gauntlet, make him fight this guy, this powerful guy, this guy, to get his way back. He doesn't allow himself to be cast aside. He gets back in another position against Jarrett Hurd. Because of what happened to him against Jamal Charlo, and because what Jarrett Hurd was perceived to be, he was looked at as he's going to get destroyed. This was just a stepping stone to get Jarrett Hurd in the ring with Charlo. He comes out, totally beats the shit out of Jarrett Hurd, dominant fashion, drops him and beats him up bad, bullies him around, becomes the champion, goes out in his next fight, loses his next fight, loses the belts. He's a bum again. Like, we go through this stuff all the time in boxing. And then I just named him because, I just wanted to bring him up. I know him personally, and I just brought his situation up. But look at now what they're talking about with Tim Tszyu. Now it's Tim Tszyu's YT a bum, he that. Listen, I'm happy that Tim Tszyu went in with a tough guy, took his first loss. Although I think a lot of things in that fight happened that shouldn't have happened. That's neither here nor there. And then he was willing to come back. He had a title. People saying he shouldn't have took it. He had a title shot in front of him, an opportunity for a strap. He believes that he's the best. He believes he can get in there with the best. He takes a tough challenge. After people complain about these fighters not taking tough challenges, he goes after it. Who turns down the opportunity to go right back in for a title shot other than the guy who's trying to nurse these purses and try to have to take another loss and take a bunch of gimme fights to get back? He has an opportunity to jump right back into a title shot. He takes it, risks it against a dangerous guy. He comes up short. And then the same people who are complaining about this person not getting in there with this guy, he's trying to take soft touches, he's cherry picking. The same people turn around and criticize Tim Tszyu and his team for putting him in that fight, now saying that he's wise because he just lost. It's just ridiculous the way this sport is boxing. If we're going to complain about the best not be willing to fight the best, We can't turn around and say they made a bad business decision when they go ahead and challenge themselves and take a loss. We shouldn't be casting them aside, calling them bombs, and saying, oh, they washed. And then we act like we just want to treat them like an afterthought and never bring their name up again. Riyadh season, Turkey Al-Sheikh is uncovering a lot of the things that's plaguing the sport. Devontae Tank Davis, Canelo Alvarez. Do you notice they two big names, the two biggest names in the sport, biggest faces in the sport right now? You notice that they haven't fought in Riyadh season, and they both have problems with Turkey Al-Sheikh. And I like both of those fighters. The reason being is they're used to being able to manipulate their base into believing I'm the cash cow. I do what I want. I don't need Turkey because they already making good gobs of money to fight whoever they want to fight. Turkey is going to give them even bigger paydays than what they're currently making. But he's requiring them to take those risks. He requiring you to go over to the Riyadh season. Riyadh season is exposing people. It's exposing people who've been too long sitting around, staying inactive, getting in these fights with these journeymen, no respect to the journeyman, and trying to present it as I'm fighting an A-level guy, or fighting guys that they know that they too big for, coming up in weight to face them. All these things that you're doing, manipulating the public. He said, yeah, I'm going to give you your money, but I'm going to require you to take a real fight against a live body, against a guy that you legit have a 50-50 shot at losing at, or you might even be the underdog against him realistically, although your name may say that you should win. Realistically, you are an underdog to this guy. This is a big risk, and these guys don't want to do it, and they don't like Turkey because they can't talk that money shit to Turkey because he has the backing, and that's oil money. So they can't floss on him talking about I got more money than you. This they can't do that. So what they do is I don't need that. I can sell over here. I don't need him. He gonna do things on my way. And Turkey like, listen, go. It's cool. I won't do no business with you because I'm willing to pay, but you're gonna have to fight somebody with a pulse. That's what boxing needs. That's what is going to save boxing and help put boxing back on a pedestal it belongs to be on, instead of boxing being the least popular sport when it was once the most popular sport in our country. We need Turkey, and we need these fighters and everybody in boxing to capitulate to this system and stop fighting it at every turn and be willing to put these O's on the line and take stiff challenges. This sport will thrive. We got so much talent in this sport. If everybody steps up and does this, we are going to be in for a treat. I want to see this thing keep on going. I want to see Turkey Al-Sheikh take over because he seems to be the one that has the enthusiasm and the integrity to give the fans what they want, also not trying to rip them off in the process. That's all I got for now, guys. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this edition of the Hurt Business 101. You know what they say? It's no business like show business. But I say it's no business like the hurt business. 101 done.